What's going on, guys? It's Ishto here, and today I'm going to continue, as you can tell by the title of the video, part 2 to the Sanghelios Forge tutorial. In the last video, as you heard at the end, I'm probably just going to let people try to figure the rest out from there. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be rude. I'm going to continue to teach how to do this. I'm going to try to do this, like, without, pausing like in the middle of the forging. I'm just going to keep trying to go and build and see what comes out of it. But anyways, sorry again that image keeps popping up. I had to reset my Xbox, and that image that you just saw a second ago just kept popping up and it wouldn't go away, and it kind of made me cry. But here we are. If you haven't seen part 1 of this, I'd advise for you to go watch that to see how we got to here with all of this. But anyways, let's get right into this. Right now, we're going to finish working with this little statue area right here. Now, how we're going to fix the rest of this? Well, I need a certain type of rock. There we are. We're going to place this right around here. Now, what I like to do is try to give it a good, even area, try to make this look like it's built into there. There we go. We'll flip this around for a little bit of that natural terrain looking bits. There, that fits perfectly right about there. Let's move this grass out. There we go. Now fix up one side of this. Now fix up the other side. We'll take this. We'll just do that, and then flip that around, and we'll put this one right about here. There we go. Now that keeps more of a detailed rock terrain area for you to have that there. Now for the wall we're going to put back there, I normally use floors. Literally almost all my maps have a floor on it. Like, none of my walls are actually walls. It's just these. This fits perfectly in place. We switch this to stone. Put this at 2. As I've explained in the last video, we always want to put these at 2 to give it that not too shiny look. And we always want it to have on floors, which is basically the sand color. Now, how to know if it's the color of the other terrain around it is if it kind of matches it, but it's a teensy bit lighter, to show that's, you know, a little bit of different stone. But anyways, what we're going to do now is we're going to make more of these rocks here. Now, I showed in the last video how to apply it to that. Applying it to this is a little bit harder in my opinion. I've never really tried super hard to do so. But right now, I need to show that. So we're going to put that there. Now what I like to do is that I like to flip these around again to kind of get these all at a... Because if it's identical on one side to the other, it's not unique and it's not a special design look. Again, as I said in the last video, what you want to do is layer this up. We can continue this layering. Now what's going to happen is we're going to have to use some of these smaller ones that we put up right about, I think, here we are. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the smaller ones to fill in the gaps that we cannot with the largest one, like somewhere around here. Now, the larger one we can, one last time, turn this around to the smaller flat curved, put it right about here. It gives that illusion and gives that nice nice little thing. Again, I'm sorry that it keeps popping up. Please bear with me. I don't know why Mixer does that, but we're gonna have to work with it. Now for these rocks, especially on this little ledge here, what I have seen or learned to do, I just kind of curve it around at the top here. Curve it. Make sure it's kind of hanging off that bit right there. Flip this over. Because we're going to want... Now what we're going to do is we're going to curve this all the way around. When we go back, flip this way. So that way this wide-ish piece, that way this will match the other. There we go. Now what's going to happen is it's going to slowly kind of bend right here. And then we're going to bend it like this. Because Sanghelios has a lot of these these layered rocks. You know, these layered little rocks that kind of just make a neat little design. And we want to match that to make our Sanghelios look like the one we see in campaign. We want it to look similar, but again, look like a player has built it. Not now, if you can somehow manage to make it look exactly like 343's, well, guess what? You're hired. You're part of the design people for Halo 6. Congratulations. And also, real quick, I want to, I'll say that in another video, where, like, I'll talk about a special gift that I got that I didn't know what it was until, Ruski told me. Because I thought it was, someone just sent me a random rec back and a guy just got lucky and got some little surprise. But no, 343 sent it to me, and it caught me off guard. Anyways, what we're going to do here with this little layer over here, we want to make sure, since this here is not really attached to that, we want to make sure that this is pretty good and layered up. We want to kind of have, you know, kind of look like it's coming around from here, and then we'll have this wrap around and go in this direction. So that way it's connected. So that way there's no transition of like of this big rock here, this rock right here. So it doesn't look like it's just coming out of this. We want it to look like it's kind of layered and kind of going all the way around, kind of lipping over here. We want to give it that illusion, or that nice little look. Now this video is not going to be like the last one. It's not going to be 30 minutes long. We're going to take these videos here to about be 15 or 20 minutes. We're going to go step by step. If it does end up being 30 minutes one day, it's because I really want to finish explaining one thing out of another. There we go. And there, it's not fully done, but we'll leave that there for right now. And we'll come back to it at a later time. Now what we're going to work on now is this little cavern. Now this cavern's not going to go all the way back, obviously. Because if it does, you know. Now what to use for what we're going to do here. Now, the idea for this here, what we're going to do here is, we're going to take these rocks, we're going to make these two areas collide. We're going to make somewhat of a path through here, leads to a door that's sealed or caved in. And we're going to try to make a nice little just cut off area, basically. That's what we're going to try to do. Now we're going to take some of these the sand blocks. Put these over here. Now again, we don't want to have too much sand, because in campaign there is a lot of rocks. Now there's what I mean by too much sand. If it's all sand, it will look a little bit awkward, in my opinion. Now we're gonna get this to where this transitions into smooth to rough rocks. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this, put this right about here, and try to get that transition to smooth to rough, if possible. Basically, we're gonna kind of have this thing going on where it kind of transitions from one thing to the other. We're gonna have this bit right about here. Now we can fix up the sand later, smooth it out to make it look a lot nicer. Now what we need to do is make sure this cuts off and ends right about here. It's kind of hard for me to see what I'm doing there. There we go. We're going to push this back, put that right about there. Now it's okay to use a lot of sand here and then add things. See, so if you need to, put a big thing of sand, put it back to where you need it to be. And then slowly but surely over time, add the rocks and terrain that you need to make this look more like it's out there, so it transitions in here, so that way it looks a lot cleaner and it's not so you know, cluttered with whatever else. So that way we can make sure it looks nice, it looks smooth, make it look a lot Sangheli-like. So we'll put this kind of like, we'll take this, turn this around. Now sometimes with these rocks, what we're going to do is we're going to, my brain just kind of died what I was trying to explain there, I apologize. Yes, we'll do that there. Now what I normally do for these doors or something like that, because most Sangheli entrances on Sanghelios normally have 2 or 3 statues and kind of in front of it next to the entrance. I always try to stick to the design that 343 made. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this right here. And we're going to turn this a little bit so it's kind of facing kind of evenly with those rocks to its sides. That way it's the way we need it to be for what we're going to do. Now this here, how to fix this, what we're going to do is we're going to take these pillars. We're going to take the bigger ones, so that way it's kind of like the perfect size, so we can use these for what we need to. Make sure this is evened out. I'm going to take these pillars, put them right about here, and kind of just bring them up to a point where they meet with the rocks. And now we're going to kind of let go of there we go. Now what we want is we want it to kind of reach out to here. Again, do that there. Now, one or two things you can do here. You can either use the top stone, the capstone. Entirely up to you. I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use this probably. Because again, Sanghelios, variety of things. This does not look bad, but the thing I have a problem with is that if you put these two and try to morph them together, unless it does that and it looks perfectly fine, never mind. Now what you can do is you can take this, copy paste, throw this over here, and bada bing bada boom, you got an entrance. Now, how to make this look like it's caved in. There is a special rock in the naturals that has this collapsed rock looking effect. It's a tall-ish rock. Here it is. It's a 114 by 120 by 157. Now we're going to freehand this. I'm going to put this back here. And we're just going to kind of give that effect in the back area here. Kind of lean it right about there. Make sure that that's not touching that. Now we can take a column, take the small one, kind of do this little effect here. Now what we want to do is make it look like it's kind of caved in. You want to kind of have some of these rocks out a little bit here. Kind of turn those like that. And there we go. Now, a simple thing to put the statues where you need them to be. You can just, if you want to reuse something on one of these, just do this. Copy, paste, put this over here. And then maybe put a pillar behind it like you would see in campaign, because that's what they kind of looked like. There was a pillar behind these things. So just take one of these pillars. Now, because I freehanded these statues, putting these behind the statues and aligning them is kind of hard to do. Now, that's, yep, that's the height that we want it to be. There we go. Align it with that there. Then we will put this here and not do that, because that will mess that up. We will align this perfectly. We'll move it back. And there we go. You got a Sanghelios entrance, an area over here, caved in, blocked off, and we're good. Now we'll move back to this area right here. Put more of these, kind of like, again, you're just gonna kind of layer these out until they kind of get smaller and smaller, until it's kind of pointless to keep putting more down. Like right about here. Maybe put one more right around here, and then you're done with this area. Now, on Sanghelios in campaign, one of the things that you normally see is trees up in the background on top of the cliffs. Now, the trees that I found to be the most closest closest thing to what you see in campaign is these trees right about here. So you can put these up here, kind of try to get them into view the way you need them to be, turn them how you need it to, kind of put them wherever you want them to be. Make sure they're not all facing the same direction though. Do something like that. And in campaign, there is not very many of these trees on these cliffs. There is like a few, but like not a whole lot. And to put a variety of different ones, we can do this here. So that way it's not just a repeating tree. Apologize for the video freezing. I can see everything that's going on. I do have a mixer next to me to make sure things don't go fully stupid. But there we go. You got some trees around here. There's some foliage. And this here is part 2 of the forge tutorial on how to forge things on Sanghelios. The next part, what's going to happen is we're going to show off more. I'm going to make those cliffs go out farther that way. We're going to have another set of cliffs right here that kind of build up here, so you can kind of look across from each other. Now, at some point in the near future, and maybe in the month or two, I'm going to get a different recording device so that this is not on Mixer. The graphics on the screen are going to look a lot better. If you go look at the Warmind video for Destiny 2 that I put up, those are actually those are actually recorded by my brother from his point of view on his actual capture card. I would use his, but he is too lazy and does not want to unplug all the stuff and like let me record a video too. He wants to keep everything, so I have to kind of get my own because he will not let me. Anyways, I will see you in the next video. In the next video, we will do more terrain, and we will fix this map up a little bit more with a little bit of a few more Sanghelios things here and there, some statues kind of up around these areas, making it look more like this leads into a temple. Anyways, I will see you on the next video. If you want to go see part 1, I will put a little link to the right side of the screen. The full playlist of all the Forge maps that I have. It will be on the left side, and on the center of the screen, you will be able to see a thing to subscribe to my channel. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, again, leave a like, and hit that subscribe button again to see more of these. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.